Today we're bringing you a preview of the new Power Rangers deck building game from Renegade Studios. I'm Mark Maya, and this is Board Game Coffee.
Vincent, get back here this instant! Oh, Vincent!
Thank you. Oh, I love you too. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. Thank you.
The Power Rangers deck building game is a heavy Euro-style worker placement with some AR components and plays within roughly 3 days.
What?
Just kidding. The Power Rangers deck building game is a 2 to 4 player... Can you guess? You nailed it, it's a deck building game. And if you guessed a kick-ass deck building game about kicking ass, you would be doubly correct. Okay, so here's the thing. We here at Board Game Coffee don't ever do reviews upon request, and never for a sponsorship. Because we feel strongly that doing so would be a conflict of interest and not fair to you as a consumer looking for a fair and unbiased opinion. So with that said, this isn't something we usually do. But before we continue with this preview, I gotta say, I'm really liking this game. And it's not just me. Britt, get in here.
What are you doing?
Tell the people how much you like the Power Rangers deck building game.
You never told me I was going to be on camera.
It's fine, you'll be fine. Get in here.
No, I'll just tell you what I think from here. I'm not going on camera looking like this.
You look fine. You look great. You're overacting.
No,
It's
I
nothing.
don't
You'll
want
be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be good. Now, tell the people what you think of the Power Rangers deck building game.
I really like it. It's really enjoyable. And I highly recommend it for people who like deck building games.
See? That wasn't so hard, now was it? Oh. Back to our preview. Power Rangers is a 2 to 4 player asymmetrical deck building game where one team takes on the role of the Power Rangers while the other team takes on the role of the villains. Now, if you haven't played a deck building game before, shame on you, because they're awesome. But I don't want that holding you back, so let's give you a quick rundown of the basics. Okay, Deck Building Games 101, using Power Rangers as our reference point. Ready? Here we go. Each player starts with 10 starter cards. Shuffle them up and draw 5. During your turn, you play cards to earn some form of currency. In this case, shards. Spend shards to buy new cards from here, and then, unless told otherwise, toss them into your discard pile. Don't worry, you'll get them back later. As you continue to buy cards for your deck gets more powerful, and you use that power to smash your enemies. Sounds like a good time, right? It is. Repeat this process back and forth until one team reduces the other team's health down to 0 and wins the game. That was a pretty bare bones explanation of the basic mechanics that you'll find in most deck building games. Now let's switch gears and talk about what sets Power Rangers apart and made us fall in love with this fun little deck builder. The hell was that?
That's our new opinion alarm I had installed.
Since when?
Since the last skit. It goes off when too much of your personal opinions leak out of your face hole and muddies up our fact-filled previews.
But I was just telling them how much Oh, Jesus Christ! Okay, I'm sorry. I have no opinion whatsoever.
Much better.
I mentioned earlier in the video that Power Rangers is asymmetrical. Asymmetrical deck building game. Now, as far as deck building basics, there isn't much difference between the villains team and the good guys team. They both need to buy cards from the grid to improve their deck in order to crush their enemies. But the good guys have this Zord Bay, see? And the bad guys have their lair. The Zord Bay is where the Rangers park their Zords and eventually form Megazord. And if you're lucky, Mega Dragon Zord. The Zords as an individual unit do have their own abilities that come in useful. But their true power comes out when they form one of these bad boys. That's when shit gets real. The bad guys, on the other hand, don't have a giant robot docking bay. Instead, they have a lair, which I imagine being kind of like a trendy coffee shop where they swap stories about world conquest and discuss what happened on the latest episode of This Is Us. But where they lack in giant robots, they more than make up for with powerful ongoing abilities that will irritate the hero player to no end.
Ha ha.
Come to think of it, maybe it's not the villains that are the irritating parts.
Hey.
What makes Power Rangers different is how it deals with card abilities. In most games, you play a card and do what it says. But in Power Rangers, you have to attach your cards to your heroes before you can use them. Now, attaching your card is no big deal. You simply lay it down next to your hero, or villain, so that the color of the card matches the side of the character that it's on. But here's the rub. Once you attach a card to your hero, it no longer generates any shards, so you miss out on that additional buying power. So you gotta make the choice. Do you want to attach a card and use it for its ability, or do you want the shards more? And I'm going to tell you right now, that decision is harder than it sounds, because chances are the cards you're going to want to use the most are the ones that have the best currency generation. It's a cruel game you're playing, Renegade, and I don't like it. Actually, I really like it. It's really awesome, and I kind of think it's cool. I mean, I have no opinion one way or another. Another thing that's fairly common in deck building games, some might even say the backbone of the entire deck building mechanic, or at the very least, a vital vertebrae. Where am I going with this? What I'm trying to get at is the currency. Like in most deck building games, the currency generated by the cards you play disappears at the end of your turn. Any shards you don't spend are gone, kind of like a mandatory tip. Except instead of going to a overworked college student trying to pay for his school books, it disappears into the ether. Which I guess is actually the same thing as giving it to a college student. But we're not here to talk about shards. Although I just did, I don't know why, but it's done. Let's move on. What I want to talk about is energy. You see, other than generating shards, many of your cards will also generate energy, which, unlike shards, you carry with you from one turn to the next, and they're recorded on this nifty little dialy spinny thingy. The energy you record on your wheel of energy recording is used to activate the abilities mounted onto your characters. So if you want to use heavy attack, pay 5 energy and bam! It's morphing time. Or just time to kick someone in the face. Speaking of morphing, if you want to switch from your goody two-shoes teenage persona to your badass martial arts jumpy, kicky, punchy version of yourself, you gotta attach 4 cards to your character, and once you do, it's morphing time. The budget didn't really leave much room for any morphing magic, so the villains go through a similar process, except they don't get the colorful jumpsuits. Instead, they get all empowered. But good guy or bad, both sides of their personalities have unique abilities. For example, Tommy as a teenager gets a discount on any cards that cost 5 or more. Kind of like an employee discount. But when he flips over, he forgoes his discount for an ability that deals damage for every card attached that costs 5 or more. So both abilities are designed to complement each other. The bad guys have the same kind of thing, although different. Actually, they're all different. In Power Rangers, you got 7 good guys and 6 bad guys to choose from. Although in this case, the good guys are kind of cheating because they're using Tommy for both the White and the Green Ranger. So maybe they're not as honest as you might think. Each character also has their own unique weapons and Zords or Master Cards that they can use and only they can use. Each character's unique abilities favors a different deck build, which offers a different experience each time you play. New characters, new experiences. Different matchups, different experiences. And I love how that feels. I mean, at first I didn't think I was gonna like it, but after I played a few games, I couldn't get enough. I mean,
Whoa. This is starting to sound an awful lot like an opinion.
What are you wearing?
Oh, this whole thing? It's just something I threw on. Don't change the subject.
All right, I'm good.
No, I want to hear you say it. This is not a...
I got it. I'm good. I said I'm good.
Say it.
This is not a review.
And?
Previews are about facts not opinions.
Don't make me come back here.
As I was saying, there are a lot of other characters, and each of them have their own special abilities and playstyles, which I do not think is awesome. It's just something I know.
Much better.
And another thing I know is that the Power Rangers deck building game is really easy to learn, so you deck building players out there will pick it up in a snap. Can I end with just one reviewy kind of thing? Just one, I swear.
Fine, but keep it short.
Okay, I'm a man in his 40s, so when Power Rangers was at its pinnacle of popularity, I was too old to really get into it. I mean, I caught a few episodes here and there, but it wasn't really my thing. Now, as an adult playing this game, I kind of want to go back and watch the TV shows and maybe read the comics. And why? Because they did a great job of making this feel like a Power Rangers game, and an even better job of convincing me that maybe I'm more of a Power Rangers fan than I thought. Alright, that's it. I'm done. Thanks for joining us. If you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe to our channel. It's the best way to keep up to date with everything we do here at Board Game Coffee. But if you want to see more right now, we got plenty of videos to choose from. And if that's not enough, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Mark Maya, and this is Board Game Coffee. And remember, have fun, keep gaming, be social. See you next week.